Saturday, June 27, 2020. Good evening from Europe. Good morning, good afternoon, guys, wherever you are. Piotr here, it's Light Forex Global YouTube channel. Saturday, market is close, but when it comes to the indices, when it comes to the US stocks, we've seen very ugly Friday close. Well, just ahead of the end of the first 6 months of the 2020, ahead of the quarterly close. Of course, things the things they don't look good right now, but I'm discussing two reasons. I recorded separately video this morning, and then after that we are going to get back and check SP and NASDAQ. So without the further delay, let's check the details and then let's have a look what we have when it comes to the charts. Ugly weekly close, especially this end of the quarter is coming. There was attempt to buy the dip. The White House administration even sent the Kudlow to help to manipulate, to push the market higher, but we closed at the low. And guys, well, looks like stock market is trying to get back into the reality, and of course massive negative information yesterday, especially when it comes to the coronavirus. And you know, well, it's very sad situation. But what we have to understand, it's not that the new cases are pushing the market lower. I think that the market is realizing that, well, no doubt it's going to have global economy, it's going to influence the global economy, it's going to influence negatively, right? So, and probably much more than what we suspected at the beginning, right? So we have massive surge when it comes to the new cases in US. 45,242 new cases, record high, is a sad story. Then we have 7-week high when it comes to the Tokyo. Then we have Australia hotspot, Victoria spike when it comes to the new cases. France yesterday set over 1,500, so got back above 1,000. Only, you know, because of the summer holiday in Europe, only Italy 250 something, and Spain there is a little bit bigger, a little bit of the increase in the new cases, but you know, guys, they are not gonna to publish real numbers when they reopen it from the tourist perspective, right? So no doubt we are going to see real numbers, and there are some rumors or growing rumors that the numbers are incorrect, of course, when it comes to the Italy and France. So that's when it comes to the coronavirus and the influential influence on the global economy. The second thing, and we've seen a start of that earlier this week, right? When Navarro said the trade deal is over. I'm talking about the US and China problems. And Pompeo yesterday said that there are gonna be visa restrictions on China party officials over the Hong Kong, right? On the other hand, China got back and said that, dear President Trump, you better do not cross the red line, right? So the question is, if the red line been crossed already or not yet. Of course, all about the November elections. So ugly end of the week, very close to the end of the quarter, end of the month, end of the first part of the year, 6 months, and well, I haven't seen any kind of the window dressing. So let's check few charts and let's see what might eventually happen Monday, Tuesday. Alright guys, so that's the monthly chart of S&P. If we are going to try to imagine how it looks from the quarterly perspective, so we have this type of the falling candle, we do have this type of the upper shadow, right, and we do have this type of the lower shadow, right. When it comes to visualization of the upcoming candle quarter, we have for now something like this. So on a quarterly basis, as you can see, we retest yearly open, and we do have quite huge rejection going on. So if the market is going to be able to close even lower, from the bear's perspective, that's gonna be even better with this upper shadow on the quarterly chart. When it comes to the monthly, this upper shadow already is quite significant, right? If we are going to get the close below previous month's open, this open around 3065, this particular one over here might work as a supply based on the possible swing high creation, right? Of course, we are trying to hold for now April high, right? But that would be significant development if we are going to be able to close even below 2950. Let's switch to the weekly chart, because weekly is also ugly. Market was so weak that we even didn't retest the swing high over here. Second week in a row we are creating upper shadow, significant upper shadow around 3150, and that's also adding into the selling pressure. Of course, for now, what we've seen 2 weeks ago and what we have to the left on the chart, that of course might work as some kind of the demand. The levels I just mentioned, 2950, right? 2950. That's significant supply. So for now we have like 200 points on S&P when it comes to the low and the high. 3150 supply, 2950 ish demand. Let's have a look what we have from the daily chart perspective. And that's gonna be important because as I mentioned, it's evening right here in Europe. We have some new numbers when it comes to the COVID in US, and they are not getting better, and actually indication for now for the DJ is to open more than 200 points lower, but still plenty of time to go. Now, what we might see as early as next week, towards the end of the first part of the year, towards the end of the first quarter, well, I still believe that we might see some kind of the manipulation. So I'm still carry on with some tiny shorts, but I'm not gonna chase the market Monday or Tuesday. I'm not gonna chase that market much, right? I do believe that there is a chance that the bears are taking over, right? I do believe that the bears are taking over, and there is a chance to create this 1-to-1 with the possible retest of even 2865, right? But I would like to see these levels from the bear's perspective to be broken to the downside, and I don't think it's gonna to happen towards the end of the June. So I would prefer to see that over the July, August to breaking lower. Of course, there is an opposite side. The bulls are going to try to hold that levels, right? So and then we have another level, very important, based on this consolidation, because that's what I've mentioned. 2865, this is the half of that consolidation, but then there is a bottom of that consolidation around 2760, right, 2760, and that's the most probable, in my opinion, target. So not this 121 to 2850, right, but because of 3,150 to the upside, 2,950 to the downside, we have 200 pips range. If we are going to break that range to the downside, that's giving 2,750, and that's the bottom of that consolidation, and that's, I think, what might be the target. To the upside, no change, 3,150 for now. Let's have a look right now what we have on the NASDAQ, because that one is still strong. All right, that one is still strong. Now, why is it so? Because of the break, right? Because of the break, and trying to visualize a quarterly candle here, right? It's gonna be challenging, because we are not gonna to get probably, never say never, but probably to make the close below the open of the first quarter, below the yearly open, that's almost impossible, right? That's 8,880-ish, or plus minus few points, right? That I don't think we are going to be that low within next 2 days. Who knows, never say never. But what bears are fighting for, in my opinion, is to get the close below that line, right? Below 9,750, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check it. The high, yeah, 9,750, and the close, monthly close below that high, that would be significant development with this huge upper shadow over here, right? That could create selling pressure at the very beginning of the July. Of course, we have to remember about some significant levels we discussed when it comes to the weekly chart, and that's what the bears are going to fight for the weekly close below 9,650, right? Below this latest local weakness. All right, if we are going to manage to close weekly chart below that level, right, that's gonna be already significant development. Of course, the weekly candle here ugly, right, but to create some kind of the swing high, we might see retest of the 10,100. So, well, again, I'm not gonna chase the prices to the downside at the beginning of the new week, especially with the end of the quarter, end of the first half year, and especially if we are going open lower, because from the higher time frame perspective, from the higher time frame charts, there is possibility we are going to see at the beginning of the week the bounce, right, just to close the month higher, but then we are going to get back to weekly trade somewhere around the Wednesday. That could be midweek reversal, but of course I'm going to monitor, and we are going to make further updates, so stay tuned. In the meantime, it was my pleasure to make this Saturday update when it comes to the indices for you. Enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your weekend. See you around, take care, and goodbye.